So we have a hostile coming in.
Hello Tangmere. Can we bring Squadron 4-3 to readiness, please? Dispersal.
Hostile 07 is now moved to R. Roger 4040.
Hello Tangmere. Can you scramble Squadron 4-3? Scramble Squadron 4-3.
Years ago, Tangmere as an airfield became operational at the end of the First World War. That same year the RAF was founded. So here we are on the 27th of July 2008, celebrating this unique anniversary of these two events. People like coming here, and I'm sure you will as well, because we are all volunteers, and that makes a very different museum. All the people are here because of what this museum stands for, and it's important to us all that we get this history and this heritage going forward for future generations. I'm standing right here alongside one of the absolute pieces of history is Neville Duke's famous Red Hunter, where just off the coast here he achieved a world airspeed record at 753 miles an hour. This museum was started back in the early 1980s, originally as a private enterprise, but a little later in 1987, December in fact, it became a fully registered charity and has operated as a charity since those days. There is no funding from anywhere except for what people come to pay to come and see us, and a few grants to achieve various things like such as this hall we're standing in now.
Well, I've been invited very kindly with my wife to come and take part in the RAF Tangmere Open Day, and having been here last year and been very, very impressed with all the marvellous exhibits and the huge amount of hard work that the volunteers put in, it was one of the events we certainly could not miss today, and we're very proud and very pleased to be here.
Keep a lookout right aside for surface-to-air missiles, because there's a lot of angry people in West Sussex who are objecting to you low flying over the top of them.
I'm down here today as president of the Tangmere Museum. I inherited this privilege from Neville Duke, who died not so long ago. This is a very historic site. I mean, it goes back well before the war as a fighter station. Well-known squadrons were based here. And in the Battle of Britain, of course, it played a very leading part in the battle. Not only with the fighter aircraft, but with the Lysaunders who were going back and forth across to France, picking up agents and doing a marvellous job. And these activities are all commemorated in the museum.
instead of being called up into the forces, I was sent to Farnborough to carry on research work on air photography, photo reconnaissance and photo interpretation. As civilians, we weren't allowed to fly on operations, which was a bit frustrating, because when you developed a special piece of equipment and you knew more about it than anyone else, we then had to hand it over to the RAF at Benson. We weren't allowed to do the sortie ourselves.
I'm glad that I'm the one who's found you. That's why I'm always hanging around.
Well, I'm here with the band, Play It Again Sam, who are playing for this event today. It's fantastic. It's a lovely, lovely museum, Tangmere Aviation Museum. Yeah, it's really nice. Sun shining, couldn't be better. So.
We're Ops 3945, which is a living history RAF group representing the RAF during World War II. We're regulars at Duxford.
We run a little group called Deco in Style, which is a small reenactment group, and we cover World War II right back to as far as about 1910.
The guy in here who actually flew this aircraft, and he was like, he explained everything. What's that button? I don't know. Apparently there was an awful lot of radio equipment in there. All that's been taken out, it's all radio equipment.
Many years ago, over 50 years ago, I was associated as an engineer only with the world speed record flown by Neville Duke. At that time I worked at Dunsfold Airfield as an airframe and engine mechanic, or engineer as they called us in the experimental department. And we got the airplane ready for Tangmere, and a great day came, we all came down here, and we broke the world speed record. Oh, we knew we were going to do it. The attempt, yes. We had an attempt a bit before that, and we had a problem with the landing gear. And the airplane went back to Dunsfold. Well, Neville took it back to Dunsfold. I don't know how he managed to fly it, because at about 700 miles an hour, one of the landing gears came out, and it whipped him over on his back. But he managed to get control, and he got it back to Dunsfold. It landed at Dunsfold with one main leg down, one nose wheel down, and one not there. And in a week they rebuilt the whole thing up together, and back it came.
Yes, I'm an ex-test flight. I spent a large number of years in the Royal Air Force, and after doing my early days training and then operational flying, I went to the Empire Test Pilot School in 1961, and I spent the rest of my 32 years in the RAF test flying or in the game of procurement. So I'm very lucky. I served at both Bedford, Farnborough and Boston Down. You know, there were just so many lovely, lovely aeroplanes. I suppose one would find it very difficult to put anything ahead of the Harrier, because I was lucky enough to be involved in that literally from its earliest days, the first prototype, up to the Mark III Harrier, and I was involved in the first clearance to operate the Harrier from the old HMS Ark Royal. But then as a basically single-seat fighter pilot most of my life, one couldn't begin to beat the joy of flying the Vulcan, which we were given for an experimental program. I just couldn't believe that there were four of us, four test pilots at Bedford, and for the job we were involved in, they reckoned the Vulcan was the best thing for the trials we were doing. So to be given the chance to fly that aeroplane as captain and everything, it was just unbelievable.